All right, we're sending data. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? We're back on YouTube. We're back on Periscope. But Facebook has rejected the feed. Facebook has rejected the feed. Facebook. Being gnarly today. All right. That's all right. That's all right. We tried. We did the right thing. We went back in. We tried it. We tried it. All right. So I'm back. I'm back. Hopefully I caught my one viewer. I hope I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but I was trying to get my Facebook feed up. So anyway, we're going to do this again. All right. So we're gonna get this going. Thank you for joining me today. A little applause action. All right, we're gonna get the second segment going. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Real Estate Connection. Welcome back. Hey, thanks for joining me today as we are covering why, and I say again, why fall of 2020 is the new spring for various reasons. Now, the pandemic has brought us lots of new things that we've never seen before, including changes in the real estate market and changes in the selling season. Now, a lot of you may not understand, but real estate is seasonal. Generally speaking, the season kicks off annually right after the Super Bowl is over and takes off in the spring because most people want to get their homes purchased or sold before school starts. And because school starts earlier every year, back when I was in school, maybe when you were in school, or going to school, elementary school or high school. Remember how school used to start in September, but now it actually gets going in August. So that has shortened the selling season in real estate, where families like to get their homes listed and sold and purchased their next house before the kids go back into formal education in now what is August. So with the pandemic, there have been changes that we have never seen before. And I'm going through and sharing with you today an article written in Inman magazine by how fall is the new spring of 2020. So what we're hitting on are the talking points within this article that explains why this is happening. So number 2 is buyers have hit the market hard. There have been steady increases of buyers entering the real estate market. Inventory has remained low, and there has been a steady demand, which has caused prices to go up, up, up. Now, if you're just joining the show and you're wondering what we've been talking about, we're talking about how the pandemic has potentially pushed the spring selling season out into the fall. And if you don't want to miss any content, either today or on prior shows or future shows, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's INFO at realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address, and I would be happy to add you to my podcast distribution list. And additionally, if you'd like to work with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard, call me right now at 408-472-0817. And stay tuned for the entire show, because if you are thinking about selling or you're getting into the real estate market buying, you need to understand the environment that you're getting ready to walk into. If you're on the fence about selling, hopefully this show will give you the information you need to make a decision about getting your house listed for sale in what is turning out to be a hot spring and an even longer selling season through the end of this year, moving all the way through the fall and potentially into the first quarter of 2021. Now, buyers have hit the market. Now, the other issue that we're seeing in the market as far as buyers getting out and buying houses, according to Inman, is that first-time home buyers have not, I repeat, have not been scared off by the increase in home prices. Now, traditionally, when home prices start going up too quickly, what it will do is cause some shock and awe, especially in first-time home buyers who are concerned about overpaying for a home. What Inman has said in its article is that this is not happening this year. First-time home buyers are set and predetermined to go ahead and lay down roots no matter the fact pricing is continuing to go up. Now, Brian Rubenstein, Senior Director of Mortgage at online lender Ally Home, had this to say. Ally saw a delay in the spring market that lasted about 2 months, whereas the market typically starts heating up in March as home buyers figure out where they want to be for the following school year. This year, it wasn't until May that mortgage application volume started picking up, according to Rubenstein. Additionally, he indicated our app volume, or our mortgage application volumes, are up close to 160% of where it was year over year. So interpreting that for you is they are up 60%, 160% of where they were at this time in 2019. The purchase market has begun to pick up steam as the refi wave continues to dwindle a little bit, according to Rubenstein. Now, he also indicates the company said the share of first-time home buyers in July and August had grown to 60% of total purchase volume, up from 42% of purchase volume in July and August of 2019, a 43% year-over-year increase. He also goes on to say, I would expect us to continue to see a steady pickup in purchase volume through the remainder of this year and stay buoyed by the spring market next year. So the experts are saying that not only are buyers in the market, but first-time home buyers are up as compared to last year. So we have your normal buyers plus an increase in first-time home buyers that is driving the market and the velocity in the market to continue through the end of spring and move forward all the way through fall and into next year's spring market as well, according to the experts. Now, the reason behind that may be that people are looking for security. As things get more volatile in any environment, most human beings are going to look for a place of safety, permanency, and security where they can put up walls of protection and feel like they have their own space and less change. With so much change going on in the world, just in general, with the pandemic, the election coming up, jobs, whether or not the state is open or closed, whether or not people's livelihoods will be continued to happen. For those who feel stable enough to buy a house, they're really looking for additional security, which is probably driving first-time home buyers to stay in the marketplace despite the fact that home values are increasing. Now, if that's you, if that is you, a first-time home buyer, and you're looking to work with someone to help you navigate these waters, give me a call right now at 408-472-0817. That's Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, at 408-472-0817, so I can help you navigate what's going on, how to strategize about how to get your goals accomplished for you and your family, and how to write that winning offer that will get you into the secure place that you're looking for in a permanent location. Now, if you're a seller and you want to take advantage of the marketplace and this extended velocity into the fall, and you want to work with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard, give me a call as well at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. My phone has started to ring. People are getting into the market and taking advantage of what's going on. I have space for you, but don't delay. You're not going to want to miss out while these interest rates are still low and buyers are still moving around and trying to find security for them and their family. Also, we have family consolidation. People are moving in together and leveraging dollars to get a bigger house for more people to live in as well. Take advantage of it if you're looking to downsize or move into that retirement home of your dreams, whether that be on the beach or in the mountains, and you've got that big family compound that buyers are looking for multi-generational living. Now is the time to strike while the iron is hot. Call me at 408-472-0817, and let's get a plan in place for you to cash in on that hard-earned equity so that you too can achieve your dreams. Now we're running up on a hard break. When we get back, we're going to continue down the road of why fall is the new spring. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, that is it for that segment, and we're going to move right on in since we can't get onto Facebook today for some reason. We're just going to keep on rolling. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Hey, thank you for joining me today. Applause goes to you for spending time with me this Saturday as we're discussing all things real estate in Northern California. Hey, in this first segment, we're talking about why fall is the new spring in 2020 and why the indicators are saying that and the experts are saying that. And if you've missed any part of today's show and you'd like to catch up, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com, and I'd be happy to add you to my podcast distribution list. Or if you just want some of the show notes and the backup documentation as to why I'm going through this information, send me an email as well, and I'd be happy to get that out to you. Now, don't miss the rest of today's show as well, because we'll be discussing what the difference is between a buyer's market and a seller's market. That's right. We're going to be discussing the difference between what makes a buyer's market and what makes a seller's market. I know you've probably been told by friends or passers-by, or maybe even a realtor that's been chatting you up. Hey, it's a buyer's market. Time to get out there and buy a house. Or, hey, it's a seller's market. Time to get out there and sell your house. Well, we're going to get into the details behind what is a buyer's market and what is a seller's market. But in the meantime, let's continue down this road of why the fall is the new spring in 2020. One of the bullet points as to why this is occurring is that timelines are no longer attached to the school year or other factors. Now, the annual dip in the real estate market might not happen this year. And this has to do with timing. As discussed earlier in the show, real estate is a timing seasonal type of market. In the spring, it's usually hot. It starts to cool off or flatten in the summer. In the fall, it gets a little cooler, and then it starts to get a lot cooler around the holidays. But timelines this year are not necessarily attached to those factors as they were in the past. People may be less likely to travel for the holidays this year until there is a viable vaccine and they feel comfortable taking it, all right? So usually the reason that real estate tends to drop in pricing as we head into the fall is that we're connected to geography. We have to get those kiddos back into school, or we're dealing with the holidays when people are out and about shopping in the malls, or we're traveling for different occasions, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas. But this year, the traveling may not happen, and kids are dealing with distance learning, so we're not necessarily tied down to geography as it comes to schooling. Moreover, companies are having employees telecommute. This telecommuting arrangement could be extended through the first quarter of 2021. Or companies could make the arrangement permanent. Now, one of the benefits or byproducts of going through a pandemic where we were all required to shelter in place and work from home is that big corporations have learned that their employees can be very productive from home. This also saves tons of money in real estate overhead costs, utility costs as far as electricity and heating and cooling expenses in office buildings, and other forms of overhead infrastructure costs. Now, most companies are always moving towards maximizing the bottom line. If this holds true for businesses, they could adopt more permanent remote working as part of the overall corporate culture. This would allow employees to no longer be tethered to their commute and be able to move out further in distance from where they work, thus extending the real estate market as people look for other factors in determining where they live. Not just the commute anymore, but the community. And also, if there's support in the areas for them for childcare from family members, or just being closer to other family that are in areas not necessarily as close to where you work. This could have a profound and permanent change in how people purchase and sell homes moving forward into the future. So this is another huge factor as to why the velocity in the real estate market could continue all the way through the fall and into the first quarter of 2021. Now, if you are one of those people and you're thinking to yourself, well, geez, I don't have to live in the heart of Silicon Valley anymore. Interest rates are around 3%. I can buy in a location a lot further away from where I live for a lot less money and have more space and have more privacy. And I'm looking to get that done this year. Well, call me. Call me right now. Call your radio realtor, Stephen Theard, right now at 408-472-0817. If you've been hearing rumblings at your work or in your profession that is going to allow you to permanently work from home or through remote a distance working where you may only have to go into the office 2 or 3 times a month, what's to stop you from buying an affordable house on the outskirts of the valley? This is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of leveraging the cost of borrowing money in order for you to get into a nice family home that's spacious, maybe not only for you and your children, but also for extended family as parents that may be aging, that may need to move in with you, or space for you to buy a land where you could build a second home for your parents, or even land to build 2 houses on to create a family compound. There has been lots of turmoil in this pandemic, but there also are some golden opportunities in any amount of chaos, and this may be one of it. So all of these factors will potentially extend the buying season into fall. So again, if you're on the fence at all and any of this information is turning on light bulbs in your head and saying, honey, stop the car, we need to talk about doing what we've been talking about doing for the last couple of years, buying that bigger house out in the country that we've been thinking about, or downsizing out of this large home that we no longer want to take care of and buying that retirement property that we've been dreaming about. Now's the time to do it. Our equity is growing. It's grown to the point where we can actually use it for what we need to get done. And the market is still moving. And so this is great timing to get that done for you. So call me, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. So what else is going on in the market that could extend it out into the fall time period? Well, the market itself in general is tipping its hat in this direction. Real estate data from the firm CoreLogic saw home prices rise 5.5% year over year in July, the highest rate since 2018. Again, sellers, are you hearing me right now? Home prices have gone up 5.5% year over year in July, the highest rate since 2018. Now we're coming up on a hard break. Stay with me and we're going to continue down the road why the fall is the new spring in the real estate market. And I'll see you when we get done with paying some bills. See you in a minute. All right, so we're going to continue down this road of the real estate connection and why fall is the new spring. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection. Thank you for joining me on Saturday with Stephen Theard, your radio realtor. Applause goes out to you. Hey, We are going through why fall is the new spring in 2020 and why the market is indicating that, why the experts are saying it, and what supports it. If you've missed any part of today's show and you've missed the bullet points or the information that I've shared in regards to this, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info at realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address, and I'd be happy to add you to the podcast distribution list so that you could hear this information for yourself if you've missed any of it, or to get copies of some of my show notes that support where this information is coming from, as we're pulling it all out of an article written in Inman that I just received this week, and I thought it would be absolutely fantastic timing to share with you today. And don't miss the last part of this today's show, as I'm going to be walking through what the difference is between a buyer's market and a seller's market. I know you've probably been told, hey, it's a buyer's market, time to buy, or hey, it's a seller's market, time to buy. But has anyone ever broken it down for you to tell you why, what makes up a seller's market or a buyer's market, and what advantages or disadvantages does it have for buyers and sellers when those are occurring? All right, so we're going through why fall is the new spring in 2020 because of this pandemic we're going through. And I just read that real estate data firm CoreLogic saw home prices rise 5.5% year over year in July, the highest rate since 2018. Now, I don't know where you guys were in 2018, but I was selling real estate, and that was one of the best years I ever had. The prices of homes were jumping up left and right all over Northern California, and homes were selling in days. And it was a heavy seller's market. And sellers were taking advantage of it. Real estate brokerage Redfin, according to this Inman article, and I quote, real estate brokerage Redfin saw home prices rise even more in the markets it operates in. And so if you're familiar with Redfin, they have a heavy presence in Northern California. They're saying that prices have risen even more in the markets it operates in, 8.2% increase in the markets that it operates in. And like I said, Redfin heavily operates in Northern California. And what they're indicating is it's canceling out the 6.9% increase in buyer purchasing power due to low mortgage interest rates. This could also drive people out of the high concentrated areas within Silicon Valley where the jobs are located, because now they're working from home, and this increased in buying power can get them more house further away from the technology centers because of the working from home telecommuting that's been going on with the shelter in place. And should companies adopt this permanently, this is your opportunity to get a larger home with more space for less money as you continue to work remotely. All right, prices have been increasing due to high demand and low supply. So traditionally, the prices of homes on the market come down around the holidays. And the reason is because sellers don't want to be stuck with their home still on the market during November and December. So traditionally speaking, as we enter into the fall, any homes that are still on the market are starting to see price reductions because sellers want to get them off the market before it gets too close to Thanksgiving and Christmas, because at that time, usually the market comes pretty much to a complete halt, except for those looking for really good deals. And so they don't want to be caught losing equity in their homes selling during that time period. However, Mike Simonson, CEO of housing market analytics firm Altos Research, says the following: this year, our whole seasonal reset is way lower than a normal year. 25 or 26% instead of 36 or 36 37% of homes are taking price reductions. Okay, so that's indicating that prices are not coming down like they traditionally would as we start to enter into the fall a selling season. That's because there's demand in the market, he says. That's homes getting listed and sold quickly. That's multiple offers. And that says that the homes that are listed now in the prices that we've got now hold up for transactions that happen later in September, in October, and November. So he's also saying that demand is being met with shrinking inventory. Altos, the research firm that Mike Simonson is CEO of, also predicts the number of single-family homes for sale will continue to drop through the end of the year. So we're having a drop in inventory, or available homes to purchase will drop off, along with demand staying steady, which should keep prices up. So again, if you're at all on the fence about whether or not you can sell your house in the fall and still get good money from it, the experts and the tea leaves are lining up to say that that is correct, that you still will be able to get a fair amount of money for your home if it's sold in the fall. Also, with a lack of inventory and inventory decreasing, you could catch a wave that's still cresting from the spring. All right. He also says we had just a couple of weeks in March of climbing inventory in 2020. So in March of 2020, we saw inventory start to go up. And then the rest of the year, when we normally have all this inventory increasing, inventory dropped rapidly every week from April all the way through the rest of the year, Simonson said. He said also it'll be flat for a couple of weeks here in September, and then you can expect the majority to pull back. So your competition, if you're a seller in the marketplace, as you hit into September, October, November from other sellers, should be less. With a steady flow of buyers, 1 + 1 = 2. You should be able to still get really good money for your home. All right, so if you're just joining the show, actually speaking, if you're thinking about selling and this is ringing a bell and this is sounding really good to you, even though it's the fall, call me right now at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Give me a call. Let's get your house listed for sale, even though we're running into the fall, and get top dollar for it, or at least not have the competition that you normally have while there are still a lot of buyers in the marketplace. All right, so what is number 5? Now, number 5 doesn't necessarily speak to why the velocity is going to continue into the fall, but it does speak to mortgage forbearance. Unfortunately, there have been people that are unable to keep up, or were unable to keep up with their mortgage payments during the pandemic due to financial difficulties from layoffs and other issues. And we may see homes come on the market at the end of the first mortgage forbearance time frame, the first 6 months of the first mortgages being held back from payment in September. We may or may not see more inventory for you buyers out there who are struggling to find a house. Again, in this market, the house is the prize. If you find a house that you like, write an aggressive offer, get it accepted, and then start to ride that equity train as we move into 2021. Should the economy fully recover in a V vertical shape, then if that happens, then the market should remain strong through 2021, 2022, as we start to see the benefits of fiscal policy changes that should be hitting the United States um, should we continue to recover just from trade deals from the USMCA and a reduction of lots of regulations in the marketplace. And then also businesses moving manufacturing back to the United States of America too, that could bolster the economy. If that happens, then the market should maintain its velocity all the way through 2021. So even if you do get in the market as it's going up, you should still be okay should the economy continue to recover. So if you're at all thinking about buying this year and taking advantage of these historically, and I mean historically low interest rates, call me right now at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Let's get you in the market. Let's get you into that home. Let's get you some permanency. Let's get you some security so that you can feel safe in knowing what your payments for your home are going to be for the next 15 or 30 years. There's nothing better than knowing that your rent or your cost for living is not going to change when it comes to the housing cost as you're moving forward in life. All right, so with that being said, we're running up onto a hard break. We've been talking about why fall is the new spring. And when we get back, we're going to get into the differences between a buyer's market and a seller's market. So stay with me, and I'll see you when we get back. All right, hard break. 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Can we make it? I don't know, but we're gonna try. I don't normally sing on tune on this thing, but we're going to move forward anyway. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for hanging out with me. Round of applause. That's right. Thank you very much. All right. With that being said, we're going to jump right back in to today's broadcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection. Thank you for joining me, Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, on the Real Estate Connection, where we talk about all things real estate every week. So we've just gone through why fall is the new spring for 2020 and why sellers should be taking advantage of this as the velocity in the market continues to move through to the end of the year. And if you're a buyer, what the market landscape looks like if you're wading into these waters. If you're at all looking for help on either front, go ahead and give me a call at 408-472-0817. That's Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, at 408-472-0817. Hey, in this next quick segment, we're going to run through what the differences are between a buyer's market and a seller's market. I know many people have heard, hey, it's a buyer's market, time to buy, or a seller's market, time to sell. Well, in a buyer's market, homes tend to sit on the market for a longer period of time. There's plenty of inventory to choose from in the area you choose to live in as well. In other words, there is enough supply to meet demand. Now, the month's supply of inventory in your area can determine if you are in a buyer or seller's market. A realtor can get that information for you, and if you would like that information for yourself, call me at 408-472-0817. Traditionally, in a buyer's market, you're going to see a balance of supply and buyers out there. Typically, that usually means 3 months worth supply. So if you were to no longer see homes come on the market, it would take 3 months for all of those homes to get sold. Now, in Northern California, we haven't seen that in a long time. I think the closest we gotten was in 2019 when we were getting around 2.5 months, almost close to 3, and the market was starting to look like it was going to be normal for a while. And then in 2020, we hit a pandemic. However, usually 3 months supply is a buyer's market. Now, in a buyer's market, buyers have additional tools for negotiating that you wouldn't normally have in a seller's market. You can sometimes offer under the asking price or just the asking price and get the deal done. But you can also ask for concessions such as repairs, seller paid inspections, even sometimes cash for closing costs. You can also keep in place your contingencies, such as your loan contingency, your appraisal contingency, and your property inspection contingency, which gives you more time to analyze the property to look for defects and potentially ask for the seller to either make repairs or give concessions on the price to deal with the issues that you're finding in the home. And you have time on your hands in order to get that done because the seller wants to give you that time because they're afraid you could go off to another property. Now, in a seller's market, the seller has the upper hand. A seller's market is usually when demand outpaces the supply. Sellers' homes usually receive dollar amounts above the asking price, and homes usually go into contract in very short periods of time in a seller's market. Now, the month supply of inventory in your area can determine if you are in a buyer or a seller's market. And generally speaking, a seller's market will have less than 3 months of supply of inventory. Now, depending on how low below 3 months will tell you how aggressive that seller's market is. I have seen less than a month's supply in general neighborhoods and sometimes a month and a half in a neighborhood around the corner. So you need a realtor to give you that information. If you want that data, call me for your neighborhood at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Now, sellers will receive very favorable terms from a buyer in a seller's market. Offer amounts over asking price, waived contingencies such as property inspection, appraisal, even loan, as is purchases without any request for repair, and then even free occupancy after close of escrow if the seller needs additional time to move. So that's generally speaking what a seller's market looks like. Now, if you want to work with your radio realtor that has all of these great advice and tips for either buying or selling a home, call me today at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. You know, we've been buying and selling since the beginning of time. Genesis 34:10 says, "Thus you shall live with us, and the land shall be open before you. Live and trade in it and acquire property in it." So, with that being said, the market is up. Pendings are going up. Sales are going up. Houses are selling. The market is hot. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And God bless the United States of America. And we will see you next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that's a wrap. I would say all of my stuff I normally say, but alas, we're not on Facebook today. I don't know what happened. But that's okay. We'll be at it again next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection. And oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. So if you have friends or family, co-workers, or anybody in Northern California who's looking to buy or sell in the near future, tell them to give me a call. Reach out at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you. Have a great day. And God bless the United States of America. I'm Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, and we'll see you next week on The Real Estate Connection. Take care. Bye-bye.